Okay, today we will be debating the following statement. We should reduce spending on space exploration programs by 50% and use the money for programs to protect the Earth. Callie and Noah have prepared talks to represent each side of this argument. Then we will have a class discussion, followed by a class vote. Callie, are you ready to begin?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Today we will be talking about huge amounts of money. In 2017, spending by governments around the world on space exploration totaled $14 billion. That's a lot, right? However, if we talk about the total space economy, which includes satellite technology and private companies, then the annual spend is around $400 billion. $400 billion. Nevertheless, for the rest of this talk, I will focus on the $14 billion spent by governments. So that's $7 billion for environmental programs. In a moment, I'm fairly sure Noah will tell you that human beings are great explorers. He will say that visiting other planets represents everything that is good about humanity. I completely disagree. Of course, humans are great explorers, but space exploration represents our stupidity. We should be exploring and protecting our own planet. It is a well-known fact that we have more information about the surface of Mars than we do about the bottom of the Earth's oceans. For example, there are no maps of 95% of the ocean floor. Over 500 people have been into space, but only 3 people have visited the deepest part of the ocean. And one of those 3 was the famous film director James Cameron, who spent his own money to see the Mariana Trench. Now, I'm not suggesting that we spend $7 billion mapping the sea. In my opinion, this money should be spent on global projects that benefit all people. For instance, trusted organizations like the World Bank could pay countries to protect their forests. This system is known as Payment for Ecosystem Services, or PES for short. I am not naive. If a person has to cut down a tree to grow food for their family, that is what will happen. PES pays people not to cut down the trees. From Uganda to Mexico, research has proven that PES is effective. Furthermore, compared to other ways of reducing carbon emissions, such as giving money to people if they switch to electric cars, PES is a cheap solution. To sum up, I believe we should spend half the world's space program budget on conservation programs here on Earth. After all, there is no planet B. Thank you.
And now Noah, who will defend the space exploration budget.
Thank you. First of all, I want to respond to Callie's point about Earth exploration. In actual fact, the scientists exploring the solar system and the scientists exploring the ocean are often the same people. The American Space Agency, NASA, for example, has a team of so-called Earth explorers, biologists, climatologists, technology experts who focus on Earth, not space. The reason why humans do not waste their money exploring the deep ocean is because it is dark and uninteresting, not because of some blind financial stupidity. Similarly, yes, global government spending on space programs is large. But please compare that to, for example, the amount used in military budgets. $1.82 trillion in 2018. So instead of half the space exploration budget, you could have 0.4% of the military budget. I believe that space science and environmental programs belong together. Space science gives us amazing inventions and enables our modern world to exist. Without satellite technology, there would be no satellite images to show us how much forest we have. Without weather forecasts, we would not know so much about climate change. Space exploration also shows us how beautiful our own planet is. Astronauts agree that you go into space a scientist and come down an environmentalist. I want to conclude with a quotation from Dutch astronaut Wubbo Ockels. When you have the insight and the attitude of an astronaut, you start to love the Earth. And if you really love something, you don't want to lose it. Thank you.